Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making some fun photo props for the 4th of July. And I'm going to show you two different ways that you can make these with your Cricut. And if you don't have a Cricut, there's also a file in there where you can just print these yourself and cut around them. So to get started, make sure that you go to my blog at svgnation.com to grab the free SVG file and the printable. There is going to be a link in the video description that will take you directly there, as well as links to the supplies that I'm using in case you want to check any of those out. So once you have that SVG file uploaded, go ahead and add it to the canvas. And I am zoomed out just so you can see everything, so if yours is larger, that's why. So I have everything here ready to go. If you like all the colors, if you like the size of everything, you don't need to make any modifications. But if you do want to modify this, just make sure you click right here to ungroup your layers first. So if you want to change any of the colors, just click on the layer and make sure you open that layer and just click on whichever layer you want to change and just go right over here to your colors and you could easily change the color. And if you want to resize anything to maybe you want oversized photo booth props, that's fine as well. Just click on the one that you want to resize and just drag it larger. I'm going to make them all this size, so I'm going to undo that. These are all size, pretty regular size photo booth props, so kind of like what you might see in the store that you might buy. And I made them this way because it's a great size and you can fit a lot on the same paper, so you don't go through a lot of paper. But sometimes you may want oversized, so if so, then just resize those. So when you have everything ready to go and how you like it, then you can go ahead and cut everything out. So we're just going to click on Make It. And everything here, we're using a standard 12 by 12 mat. And if you do resize these, just make sure that you resize them to fit on your paper still. So for these, we only need 2 sheets of white paper, if you're making the same colors as me. This right here, this is going to be my glitter, red. And then 2 regular sheets of red. Right here, your yellow, you can just use a scrap paper for that. You only need 1 sheet of green, 1 sheet of blue glitter, and 1 sheet of blue. So this doesn't take a lot of paper to make a whole bunch of photo booth props. And if you want to make double of anything, all you got to do is duplicate and then cut everything out. So go ahead and cut everything out, and I'm going to show you how to assemble it all. So once everything is cut out, you're just gluing the layers on top of each other. It is important that you line everything up first before gluing, because not everything is symmetrical. Some of them can only go one way. So just always make sure that you line that up first before you add your glue. And if you need any help kind of knowing where these go, I mean, they're pretty easy. It's kind of like a puzzle. There's not too many difficult layers, but you can always look in Cricut Design Space too. And they're going to be layered exactly as you see them there. So I'm just fitting that in and adding some glue. And if you have a brayer tool, go ahead and use that to help you flatten those. It's going to help hold it together and give a nice, smooth, flat look. And we're just going to continue to do this until everything has been glued together. And if you're deciding like which version of these you want to make, I definitely prefer this one, the layered one, just because you can use so many different types of paper, different material types like glitter, if you've got shimmer paper. So you can have a lot more fun with it. They're a little thicker, especially if you're layering them. And I just feel like the colors are more vibrant than printing. But all of them make great photo props, so it's up to you. This is just my preferred way. I think it kind of makes it a little different than what you could get in the store, because in the store you only get like the printed version, so it just kind of helps them stand out and it makes them more unique. So once you've gone through and you've got them all assembled, some of them don't even need glued together, some are just single layers, and I do like to use like a glitter cardstock a lot of times for those. It makes it thicker, but it still just a regular heavy or medium weight will hold up just fine. You're just going to add your stick to these. So I find hot glue is the best way to add it. And so for something small like this little mustache, I do like to get it as close to the side as I can, but I want to give it a little bit of space where some glue can be added in there. And I'm just using some like cake pop sticks. I prefer the longer ones, but you can use the shorter ones too if you prefer those. So that's really all there is to it. You're just assembling them together and just adding the sticks behind them. And if you don't have time to do all of this assembly, make sure to keep watching because I'm going to show you how to do the print then cut method. And with that way, your Cricut's just going to go ahead and cut them all out for you after it prints them. So it's really simple. There's not a lot that you need to do. You just need to press some buttons and then you can kind of walk away while it does its thing. And you can see here how the print then cut method works, how it turns out. It looks just as good. And this is gonna work even if you're just printing them and just cutting them yourself. So you still get just as cute photo booth props. You just can't really get as creative with all the glitters and different variety of paper, but they're still super cute. If you prefer to use the print then cut method, then I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do this. So this is gonna be a great option if you don't have a lot of time because your printer is gonna print these out and then your Cricut's gonna cut them for you. So it's very little time on your part. So once you have the file uploaded for this, make sure that you click ungroup. I've already got these ungrouped to ungroup your layers. Once you've done that, all you need to do is click on each layer and go ahead and flatten it. Now, if you want to change any of the colors or resize them, go ahead and do that before you flatten them. But once you have the colors how you want them, because this is how they're going to print, so if you want them to print different colors, then change those, just like I showed you earlier in the video. But then just go down and click on each layer and click on flatten. So we're just going down the line. And so if it's only one layer, it's not going to let you flatten it. So instead, you just need to go to your operation and change that to print then cut. So just continue down the line, and if there's any of these that you don't want to print, that you don't want to use, then just delete that layer. There's no sense in printing it out. So all I'm doing is changing the ones that are a single layer to print then cut, and the ones that are a layer, flattening. So once you've done all of them, all of the layers should say print then cut. Some will say flatten, some won't. Those are just the single layers, but they all should say print then cut. So if they all say that, then go ahead and click on make. And this is how they're going to cut as far as the paper. So you do need 7 sheets of paper. And I do recommend using like a thicker cardstock, and I'll leave a link for the recommendation that I'm using because you don't want these to be floppy. So just hit continue, and we're going to go ahead and send these to our printer. So go ahead and connect them to your printer. And I like to keep the bleed on, so that's the only setting that you need to change if it's not already like that. And then go ahead and click print so that you can print them all out. So once the page has printed, you're just going to go ahead and add it right here to the corner of your mat. Press that down real well. And then you want to connect your Cricut machine, and you're just going to select what paper you're using. So whether it's a medium or heavy cardstock, go ahead and select that. And then go ahead and load that. And then press your flashing button to begin cutting it. So the Cricut does take some time to scan it first, so that's completely normal. But after that, it will go ahead and cut it for you. So now that it's finished scanning, it is cutting it automatically, and it did take about 30, maybe to 40 seconds to scan, so don't be worried if it's taking a bit to scan. It will still cut it. Alright, so once everything has been printed and cut, all you need to do is add your popsicle sticks, which is really easy. So I'm just gonna use some hot glue, and these are actual cake pop sticks that you can find. I've got a link to them. I like using the long ones, but you can get the short ones as well. You're just gonna add a little bit of hot glue, kind of down the side, and just glue that right on. And that's all you've got to do. But like I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a Cricut, there is a PDF file included as well, so you can just print these yourself and then just cut around them. But if you do like projects like this, you probably want to look into Cricuts just because you see how smooth of a line that is, and then you also have the option to do like the layered ones. You can just do a lot of fun crafts. Now if you guys have any questions on how to make or assemble any of these, or even have suggestions for other photo props, let me know in the comments and I will answer your questions there and see what kind of ideas you guys are looking for. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. That way you get notified when I post other crafts. I post a lot of free paper crafts that you can make with your Cricut and a lot of free SVG designs. And make sure to like this video. That lets me know you guys like this type of video, and that way I know to make more of it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.